Today we're talking all about popcorn. It happens to be one of my favorite snacks. I love it because it's just, I don't know, it's light, it's filling, it's all the things that I love in a snack. And the trick is though, how do you keep popcorn fresh for a long time? I have a trick I can't wait to share with you that transforms everyday homemade popcorn into something that's a little bit more like Skinny Pop, but a lot more affordable. So stay tuned because I'm also going to show you some of my favorite seasonings. This vegan popcorn is cheesy, yes, but it's made with a seasoning that you probably have a good idea what's included, but I'm going to show you how to make it. And I'm also going to share with you some of my other favorite seasonings. So if you've got a favorite seasoning that you like to put on popcorn, I don't care what, if it's cinnamon, whatever, leave a comment below because I want to hear from you. I love trying new seasonings on popcorn. So yeah, why make it homemade? Because it's so much more affordable. I've got this from Costco, and look how much popcorn is in there. I will be having popcorn for, I don't know, would you say years? Maybe years, maybe years, but at least months that you can enjoy popcorn this way, and it lasts a long time. I highly recommend just making it at home. It's so much cheaper. Those big bags of Skinny Pop cost a lot of money, so this is a lot cheaper. And also, you can control the ingredients that you put in it, which I always love. You can choose whatever healthy ingredients that you want. And you also get the ultimate crunch because this popcorn is so crunchy. And I know you might be thinking popcorn has a tendency to get stale after a couple of days, but not after you learn my trick today. I'm gonna show you how I can keep popcorn crunchy for days. So let's get to it. Just so you know, I'm Marley with the site Namely Marley, and I love sharing plant-based recipes. And so I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Let's get to it. We're going to start with the popcorn itself. The very first thing you got to do is pop the popcorn. You can do that on the skillet, but of course, I always find doing it on the skillet takes a tablespoon at least, or maybe even two of oil. So we have this nice little contraption that we got, and I'll leave a link in the comments below. But this has lasted us for at least, what do you say, 15 years? Yeah, we've had this around for 15 years, and it's still going strong. So I love it. It's affordable. It's easy. And what I start with is 1/3 cup of popcorn. We're just gonna scoop that out, pour it right in there. You don't need any oil. That's one thing I love about it is, if you're trying to reduce calories or reduce the oil in your diet, this is a great way to do it. So we just put the lid on, and I'm going to put it in the microwave for 3 minutes. Oops, start. So that's going to be popping as that's popping, we're going to be working on the seasoning. So you can just imagine when I'm saying cheesy popcorn, immediately I'm talking about nutritional yeast flakes. So I'm going to put in about a tablespoon. We use nutritional yeast flakes at our house so much that I have my own little canister set aside for it. It's too good. So to that, I'm going to add just a little bit of paprika. I like to add just enough to give it some color, maybe, just to add some flavor dimension. And then I'll do just a sprinkle of nutritional yeast flakes. Again, turmeric. I'm sorry, turmeric. Yeah. Um, Again, that adds nice flavor and color. It's just all the things that I'm looking for. Just give that a stir. I also always have to have salt nearby, and that is a personal preference, how much salt that you add. You may want to add more or less, so just have it around. And then I want to talk with you about a couple of other seasoning options that you can try, because I got this from Costco. It's got a Sriracha seasoning. So good. It's really good on popcorn. So this would be another great option. I also have this, I call it like a green goddess seasoning that you can add to popcorn. It's basically parsley combined with garlic and some salt and just some, ingredients like that have kind of a green goddess vibe to it. I think that would be really good. I've been in the grocery store before and have seen those barbecue seasonings they're in the spices section. That would be really good on popcorn. Can you imagine barbecue popcorn? Oh, so I mean, I like barbecue everything. Another couple things that you want to have handy is some olive oil. This is just plain olive oil. It says lemon on it, but I just use the same container. You could also have some vegetable cooking spray, because once the popcorn is popped, and we want to spray it with a little bit, because this is how the seasonings will stick. So we want the seasoning to stick to the popcorn, and having some kind of coating on it is the way to go. Let's just talk about what's happening in the microwave behind us. We got about 45 seconds left. But what I'm doing is listening for the popcorn. Can you hear that? That's like starting to slow down. And I think it's time to pull it out. It's kind of tricky. You don't want to under pop the popcorn, but you also don't want to burn it. Nobody likes the smell of burnt popcorn. It's the worst in the world. So you can see when I pull this up, you see all that steam coming up from this? That's because the steaming action is what actually pops the popcorn, which is great, except I think it's all that moisture can lead towards what I say called gummy popcorn. Nobody wants popcorn that you have to gnaw on a few days later. So what's happened is, like I say, steam has popped this popcorn, and now we want to get that steam out. And my favorite way of doing that is to bake the popcorn. If this is a new concept to you, you're going to be so surprised with today's recipe. So what I'm going to do is pour it out into a pan. Wow, I did that really well. I hardly have any kernels. Another thing I love about making homemade popcorn is that you can forget about having all those kernels in there. If you see very first thing I love to do is just to pick out any of the kernels, because nobody wants to bite down into kernels accidentally. So they're still a little bit on the hot side. So I'm going to get rid of that. So yeah, just kind of sort through it. Look for any kernels, that didn't pop. Whoops, that one got it. That one escaped. There's a couple of them in here. And just pick through them. That way, when you serve this popcorn, it's going to be kernel free. Sean, what do you call these? Old maids? Is that what you call these? Do you all call these old maids? I've never heard that before. Maybe I have heard that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've heard other people talking about popcorn. But yeah, you can just spend as much time as you want. Hopefully you don't have too many kernels left. You can just pick those out. And then the next step is I like to spread it out, and we're going to drizzle it with oil. Now, this is what I'm saying. You can use a vegetable cooking spray. I think this one's kind of old, and actually that's going to work just fine. Just going to spray it with some vegetable cooking spray. See how that's just kind of evenly coating. And this stuff is fairly healthy. And then I kind of give it a stir because the stuff on the bottom maybe didn't get coated as much. And we'll just spray it again. That is what's going to make this seasoning mixture last. So I'm going to sprinkle this over the top. It's going to stick to it because we did that vegetable cooking spray. You can, if you really love the seasoning, you can definitely double that. I totally would understand if you wanted to do that. So you can see that it's kind of, the vegetable cooking spray helps it stick. Now, if you were looking for an oil-free version of this recipe, you know what I think I would try? I have not tried this myself, but I think it would work, is to use some aquafaba, put it in a spray bottle, and spray it over the popcorn, and that will help it stick. Because it doesn't matter if it makes it a little bit moist at the beginning, because what we're going to do is we're going to bake it. You know what? I'm going to actually add a little bit of this seasoning as well. We'll have two different seasonings going on in this popcorn. Nobody's going to complain about that. Look at that. That looks really good. Again, this goes in the microwave. I'm sorry, in the oven. The oven is preheated to around 220 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna put it in the oven for around 25 minutes. You can stir it every 10 minutes or so if you want, or not. You don't have to stir it. You can absolutely just let it sit in there. I do that all the time, and it works just fine. So yeah, I answered the question, what if you want to do this without oil? You could use, what did I say? Aquafaba would be great. Sprinkle that over, or just spray it over it, and then add your seasoning. You just need something to help the seasoning stick to the popcorn. And then you're ready to bake it. You bake it for 20 minutes, and it comes out, and it is so crispy, crunchy. Look at that. And that crunch lasts for days. That's what I love about it so much, is that you get that crunch, and it lasts. You're still going to pull this out of the bag 10 days from now, and it's still going to be crunchy. So that's what I love about it. And so another question you might have is, how do you store it? And I always store it in a plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag. We have several of them. You just Sometimes I might double store it, just put it in 2 bags just to make sure it stays fresh. That way it keeps it crunchy and, ready to eat, and it's perfect, when you're having a party over, or maybe it's Friday night movie night and you've got this popcorn already ready and it's ready to be served. So those are my tips for today's, what would I say, the Skinny Pop copycat popcorn recipe. It's so delicious, so fun, so easy to make, and I love that it's a filling snack. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more recipes coming your way every week. So so good, cheesy.